Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trail Pass. So the four-wheeler in front of you is the cheapest four-wheeler in the USA. Well, let me rephrase that a little bit. It's the cheapest four-wheeler you can buy brand new at any dealership near you that is four-wheel drive, that is a four-stroke utility four-wheeler for adults that can be purchased every day of the year. This isn't something fancy. It is not something that I got a killer deal on, and it is not your kids' Power Wheels. This is just a good old utility four-wheeler. And what is it exactly? Well, it's a CFMoto CFORCE 400. So what that means is it does have a 400cc engine. Again, it is four-wheel drive. It has just over 30 horsepower, and this is the entry level in CFMoto's lineup. And is it a good fit for you? Let's find out. So admittedly, this four-wheeler is used. I did purchase it secondhand just recently, and I was able to get a really good deal on it used. But if you were to go to a dealership and buy one of these things brand new, the MSRP is just over $4,000. I believe it's $4,300. And even for a brand new 2021 or 2022 model, they really haven't changed a whole lot. There is some very, very minor differences, including like the paint color on this one. But overall, if this is the same four-wheeler that you could go out to a dealer right now and buy brand new for yourself for, again, just over $4,000. And again, it does have only about 30 horsepower, but your Honda four-wheelers, which, we can debate that until the cows come home, whether or not they're truly better than a lot of the competition. But those can range up to 2 times this price for really similar horsepower. And of course, you could go up to a 1000cc Can-Am, which could be upwards of $15,000, and you get closer to 100 horsepower. I believe they're up in the 90 horsepower range now. But again, you may not need all that, and you may not want to pay for all that. So let's take a look around this machine and see exactly how it comes from the dealership. So again, it is a CFMoto, which is somewhat new to the US market. They have been around in different parts of the world, and they're a huge, huge engine manufacturer, actually for a lot of huge brands, including KTM. Some of the KTM bikes now use a CFMoto engine. So again, say what you want to about this Chinese brand, but overall, they seem to make a pretty quality product, and they're trusted by a lot of other manufacturers as well. They do have LED accent lights. This front bumper is built in. This is exactly how it comes from the factory. Steel racks front and rear, which is also really nice. A lot of the higher end four-wheelers, including those from Can-Am and Polaris, are going to plastic racks. But again, for a good old utility four-wheeler, a good steel rack is a great fit. Now, the previous owner did add a KFI winch on this one. That is not standard equipment on a 400 model, but when you go up to the 500cc and up on CFMotos, they do become standard. We have a set of steel wheels, 12-inch wheels on 24-inch tall tires. Nothing fancy here. Again, these are a little bit worn since it is used. But overall, it does come with 4 wheels, 4 tires. It is a four-wheel drive four-wheeler, and it has been a great machine for us here recently. Now, we have just over 500 miles on this machine, so I am able to give you some initial impressions. I know it's not completely well used, well broken in yet, but overall, I am really impressed. It's been a great riding four-wheeler, and I actually bought this one for my wife. She's really new to four-wheeler riding, and we have an area to ride this around our house, so we thought it might be a good fit for her. We thought we'd try it out. Now, we did go ahead and put some Pro Taper grips on here just so she could have a little bit better grip and feel a little bit more comfortable in the machine. We did go ahead and add a Mad Dog seat cover. Got that off of Amazon. They're really inexpensive. And the most expensive modification, as you can see here, we have a milk crate. Is color matched to the four-wheeler, which is really important and held on by the highest quality zip ties. But, honestly, guys, this is an inexpensive four-wheeler, and you don't have to have super expensive mods to make it more useful. My wife likes to do some gardening. She uses this. She might throw a bucket in there, a little bit of potting soil, you know, or gloves, whatever. It's just a really handy modification, and something that she uses all the time. And it does, you know, while it may look silly, it really does work really good for her. These CFMoto 400 models do have a little bit of storage here in the rear, right behind the tail light. That flips down. You can see not real big, about the size of my hand in there, but it would be a good space to add some stuff. One thing that is really impressive, I was talking about Honda four-wheelers. The Honda four-wheelers at their lower lineup, their less expensive models, they are solid axle in the rear. And as you can see here on the CFMoto, even on this 400, it is double A-arm, independent suspension there in the rear. So that makes for a much more comfortable ride, much more compliant. Whether you're tooling around the house or out on some trails, that is really nice. They also have a double A-arm suspension setup up front with single lever braking, which is really nice. You don't have to fight all that, and does have a foot brake as well. So hopping on the four-wheeler here, you have the key right up here by the front rack. You can hear it is fuel injected, which is great. Pull the handbrake here. Fires right up. I'll go ahead and turn the key on as well to wake the screen up. You can see it has all sorts of information on it: speed, hours, miles, a fuel gauge, and a temperature gauge, as well as a clock, which is really nice. And right here is the big story. You can see it does have a four-wheel drive switch, actually really similar to Yamaha. It looks almost like a direct copy in my opinion, but you can go ahead and put it in four-wheel drive. And then you can slide this switch over, and there's actually a locker here as well, which is huge news. A lot of four-wheelers don't have a locker, even if you spend much more than this one. But you go ahead and do that. You can hear it click in. And it also shows here in your gauge cluster that it is in four-wheel drive, and that X in the center there shows that it is locked in. I'll go ahead and take it out of the locker. See, that goes away. Out of four-wheel drive back into two. And that front axle disappears as well. So really cool. Also up here, you do have a USB, actually a double USB for charging, as well as a 12 volt, like a cigarette lighter style thing like you'd find in a vehicle. Here is your starters button, winch controls, again, that's aftermarket, your lights, kill switch, and horn. My wife really loves the horn. I don't have a horn on my Can-Am, and she might not have a horn much longer on this CFMoto, if you understand what I'm saying. But this four-wheeler, again, it is fuel injected. It is an automatic CVT drive. It does have low, high, neutral, reverse, and park. One thing really interesting about this is actually one of the smoothest shifting four-wheelers I've ever shifted. You never have to rock it. A lot of these, I've ridden Polaris, Yamaha, Can-Am, whatever. A lot of these you do kind of have to rock a little bit to make them pop into gear. This one always is just as smooth as possible. Really cool. Also, CFMoto does offer a shift lock here. If you're going to be leaving your four-wheeler away, you can lock it in gear there and take that with you. Just a standard fuel tank. Everything works just fine from there. Another thing that's interesting, I talked about the single lever braking. This machine does not have a parking brake. You can see the parking brake light lights up when the machine is in park, but there is no direct parking brake. They have changed this on the newer models several times across the CFMoto lineup, and that's actually something I might be interested in adding. Let me know if you have any experience with this, but I was thinking about changing out this whole brake reservoir handle whole setup and adapting it to one with a parking brake, like say off of a newer model. But overall, this is what the machine looks like. All CFMoto vehicles do have CV Tech clutches, which is really great. But I think that's enough talking about it. Let's go get this thing out on the trail and take it for a ride. So we just took it on a short little run today. There will be a lot more videos coming with this CFORCE 400, but let me know what you all think. Is the cheapest four-wheeler in the USA just complete garbage, or is it something that you would consider? I mean, like I said, guys, this is not a 1000 Can-Am Outlander or a 1000 Polaris Sportsman High Lifter Edition or anything like that. But it is about a third of the cost of one of those. So would you rather have 3 of these and take all of your friends out on the trail? Would you rather buy a side-by-side with that money? Or are you one of those people that needs the ultimate four-wheeler? Let me know that down in the comment section. Again, guys, I plan on having a full video series of this, showing my wife riding this, some of our friends riding this. So let me know what you all think. What would you like to see upgraded? What questions do you have? What maintenance items do you have questions about? And let me know. We will certainly cover it here in the future. So thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It really does help us out more than you understand. And if you're interested in any of the tools that we use to help maintain this four-wheeler or any of our other vehicles, definitely check out in the description of the video. We have a link to our Amazon affiliates program. Check out some of those products. And if you do choose to buy some of those, it really does help us out. So thank you all very much for watching. We'll catch you next time.